Hello everybody, it's Murialda here once again, and welcome back to an open figure. So yeah, we're going to do things a little bit different today because I actually got this figure back on Monday, and I recorded my unboxing video of her and was all happy. And then I went to copy it to my computer, and while the file was copying, the power went out, and the computer shut off, and the phone, it said, "Hey, transfer interrupted. What do you want to do?" And I think I might have accidentally hit the delete button, but regardless, the unboxing video got lost. So, yay. And then ever since then, it's been kind of dreary outside, and I haven't really been in a good mood from work and everything. So, we had to wait. But we are now going to look at Noshiro. So, this is Noshiro from Azur Lane. She is in her skin, the Hold the Ice waitress outfit, basically. She's a 1/7 scale figure manufactured by Glint. She released on May 9th of 2025. I ordered Noshiro on April 13th of 2024. I paid for her on May 9th of 2025. She shipped out on May 14th and got here on May 19th. And it is now May 23rd-ish, I think. So I got the bonus version from AmiAmi with the extra face. I did not get the other bonus, like the keychain or whatever they had, but I got the extra face. I paid 22,860 yen, or $166.02. And EMS shipping was 6,870 yen. So yay. Let's go ahead. We're going to set her off to the side, and we'll look at her box. So let's see. I'll shove it back a little bit, get it more in frame and tilt up. So Noshiro has a nice box, and it's got some nice texture on it. From the front, we do have the AmiAmi limited edition sticker. We've got a picture of Noshiro, and it's kind of in a heart frame. Over on the side, we've got a nice back view of her, and like I said, it's got a nice texture on it. On the back, it's the nice full body shot of her in a little cafe scene. Other side, again, it's a booty shot with texture. The top of the box has a nice silhouette of her with a textured ring and some hearts. And then the bottom box has the warnings and information and everything. So yay. We'll go ahead and set that off to the side. We'll bring things a little bit closer now. So like I said, I got the bonus face for Noshiro, and it is a smiling face. And probably not going to use this one. That's why she was still in the packaging. But we'll take her out and we'll look at her. So there is her face. It's got, like I said, a nice gentle smile, and she's looking off to the side a little bit. She's got long oni horns with red tips, and they are pretty stabby sharp. They're flexible, but still stabby sharp. She's got some hearts on her maid headband. Not sure if this lighting will catch it, but she has like sparkly oil slick paint on her fringe. So, you know, if you've ever seen spilt oil in the sun, that's kind of what it looks like. So it's got, you know, pinkish colors and greenish and bluish and everything. She's got lots of hair strands and everything. Looking off to the side. She has quite detailed ears and ear holes, both sides of her head. She does have some temporary space or anti-shrink pegs. And she's got very well sculpted hair on the back of her head. And again, more fringe. And if we look up there on that little bend in the hair, there is a little peg. So this peg is supposed to go into her hand. And on this face, you'd have to do some manipulation. It doesn't quite reach where it's supposed to. But that's okay. So we'll set that off to the side. And we'll go ahead and bring Noshiro over. So I'm going to disassemble her. So her pigtails come out. She comes off of the base, and this head comes off as well. You want to be careful because it is a tight fit. You don't want to do paint transfers. So we'll look at her default face, which is probably the one I'm going to use. So it's kind of a very similar face, but she's got more of a vacant or surprised expression on her face. So her mouth is slightly open. And eyes have a very slightly different shape. Again, she's still looking off to the side. You can see the hair over here is kind of stretched out a little bit more. So it does reach her fingers. Again, she has the stabby, sharp oni horns. Again, they're a little bit bendy. But you could seriously injure yourself if you so desired. We do see the peg holes. For her twin tails, they are keyed, so they will only go in one way. And again, she's got that like oil slick hair paint. So there you can kind of see the green glistening, and over here you can see the like pinkish color. And just to compare the two faces. Yeah. I think on the smiling ones, her eyes are slightly more closed. But this face, like I said, probably not going to use it. I bought it just because. But it does limit your viewing angles a little bit more. And I think this one looks better anyways. Again, very well done either way. Set that over here. We'll look at her twin tails. So again, if we go down here, they do have that oil slick highlight down at the tips this time. This one has that shape. And lots of good sculpting on it, lots of strands, and nice tips on it. They're not quite stabby, but that's a good thing. This one, the oil slick is kind of on the outside of the bend instead of the inside. And you can see a little bit of paint on the peg from it rubbing as you insert it. Her base, she has two metal pegs. They're pretty tall. She's got some plastic heel supports, and it looks like a wood floor. And the paint is pretty thick and textured. Honestly, in my opinion, the paint looks a little cheapish, but some people have said it really adds to the wood floor feel. So it is what it is. And then it's got some molding around the rim of the base. If we look on the bottom, it's got the copyright info. Copyright 2017, Manju Corporation Limited and Yongshi Corporation Limited, all rights reserved. Copyright 2017, Yostar, all rights reserved. It's actually in English, and I can read it. Woohoo! We'll go ahead and set that off to the side now, and we shall pull up Noshiro's body. So, I will say this, she is a force cast off. You can peel the dress down, and she is sculpted underneath, and some people have said she is painted. From the pictures I've seen, the paint is very flesh tone, so not really. I did attempt it, and I can peel it on this side, this cup. This one is glued on, and some people have said sometimes you get a lot of glue, sometimes you get no glue. So I've spent enough on this figure, I'm not going to force her. I've also seen a picture where someone did. It later came out that they actually cut the dress off, and she's got a nice belly and everything. Again, not going to do that on my figure. She's got some nice hearts on her tie covering her cleavage. There's her neck hole. One thing that I really liked is her order sheet is actually in English and it's legible. So someone has ordered a hot sandwich with egg, light salt, and coffee, light ice, Coke, hot sandwich, ham, large light ice, iced coffee, hot dog, no mustard, and it is kind of small, and I'm looking too far away, so let's look through the phone. Solid scrambled egg and no pepper. So her hand, it is gripping the clipboard. The 3 fingers are out of one piece, and then the index is a separate piece. She does have painted fingernails, and there's her thumb. She's got her wrist bone showing. Going over to the other hand, kind of more, closed fist kind of. Again, the index finger is separated, and you can see the little peg hole for the hair strand that's supposed to rest on it. And again, painted thumbnails and fingernails. Good sculpt on the knuckles and everything. She is slightly busty, so not overly large or anything, but they are large enough that they stick out from the sides of her torso, and gives you nice side boob viewage and everything. Good armpit cleavage up there. She does have some poofy collars on her arms, hiding these seams. Nice elbow. On this arm, she does have a strappy looking bracelet as well. She's kind of wearing, I think I called it a reverse corset because it's tied in the front. Nice bow and everything, and you got the little lace holes and laces and everything. On the back, she's got a big giant bow. She does have some sculpting detail up there, so shoulder blades and a spine line and everything. Around the hem of her apron, she does have a heart chain of black hearts and white hearts, and it looks nice and detailed and everything. Lots of wrinkles and folds on the apron. And I just noticed that the tassels or tails of the bow, they actually have a little bead on them, it looks like. On the skirt of her main outfit, again, she's got a little chain going across the hem of it, and this time it is just like half ovals on each side and everything. Again, painted very well and good sculpting details. You've got lots of folds and everything, and you can see the dress is flowing. She does wear a garter belt, and so we've got some garter straps going down to her thigh highs. She has very tiny undies on. So if we kind of pull up, you can see the garter strap up there, and then you can kind of make out a butt crack. She's got very good cheeks on her and thigh gap and everything. Going from the front, she does have, again, very small undies, and then she has an upside down heart cutout, and that's right above a camel toe. And actually, from this angle and this lighting, it almost looks like she's got a fold up in that cutout as well. So, yay. Again, very small undies. Nice thick thighs, and you got some skin dentation where her stockings dig into them. She's got some long legs. Good details on her knees, sculpting and shading and everything. Going down to her ankle, she does have ankle bracelets on with little heart charms. And then, I've never seen this on a figure, but the straps were past where it's buckled. You do have the tail sticking out as well. And then she has some white high-heeled pumps with little hearts covering the toe area. And the heels have a black tip. And then we've got the peg holes and everything. So yay. So overall, she is sculpted very nicely and painted very nicely. She is a 1/7 scale figure, but in my opinion, she is small. I've put her next to my Akagi and Kaga swimsuit figures, and they are 1/8, and she is pretty much the same size as them. Head is maybe a little bit bigger, but height-wise, she's pretty much the same. She slides onto the pegs very easily and is held securely. I am going to put the bonus face on. Again, I'm not going to use this one, but we shall do a spin with that. And you can see, if we tilt the camera up, the hair doesn't really line up with her hand on this head. So I'm just going to fiddle with it a little bit, see if I can stretch it out. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with it too much because, like I said, I'm not going to use it. I'm not even going to pull out the temporary pegs, but we shall do a spin around of her like this. Adjust the camera a bit. Okay, so blah, blah, blah. So we shall spin her now. So there she is from the front and from the side and the back. And then back to the front. And we can zoom in on her face a little bit. Adjust the camera. Sorry for the nausea-inducing shakiness. And I was going to comment that she seems like lacking right now, like she's not very full. You can't even see me making my hand gestures. But then I realized I don't have her twin tails in. But yeah, looks pretty good. But like I said, the face does kind of limit the viewing angles, especially when she goes out of frame when you try to spin her. But yeah, looks pretty decent. We'll do a normal zoom again. Move the camera back. It's time. We'll go ahead and take her head off. There we go. And then put that away. We'll put her default head on, which is the head that I'm going to use. Slides right in. You can see the hair lines up a little bit better with her hand. Still have to do some adjustments, so get it behind her thumb and then get that peg lined up and apply a little pressure, and there we go. And then we'll go ahead and get the twin tails plugged in. So that, well, I was going to say that seems really easy, probably because it's the wrong peg, the wrong twin tail. There we go. That one had a little bit more pressure needed, and it now is holding. So now we shall use this one. And that, again, needs a little bit of pressure, and then it slots in. She is a very easy to assemble figure, in my opinion. And yes, adding the twin tails definitely does fill her out. So before, she did seem really narrow and compact. She still seems that way. Like, there's a lot of detail and everything, but she is still a relatively simple standing figure. And no big giant poofies or anything, which is nice because she's not a space hog. But she is also very, very cute, which is the reason I bought her. But we'll do a normal spin now. And the mailman just came, so yay. So there is, she is from the back. She's got a very nice butt on her. And then there we are from the front. Go ahead and bring her closer, do a zoom in, and let's see how well centered we got her in frame. Probably not very. So we'll spin on her face. Yep, wants to go out of frame. But you can see, like I said, very well sculpted, good details on the hair and everywhere really. Her ears, her headband, her horns, her face. And then we'll go ahead and tilt down, spin the chest region. Again, she is force cast off. You can peel down the top and expose her boobs, and they are sculpted. She does have nipples. I'm not going to do that because she's expensive, but so if you get her, you can do that if you would like. Big giant bow, good back sculpt on her. And you can see, yes, she is kind of pointy. And I really love that the notepad is actually legible. Spin her waist region now. Good booty cheeks again. And the garter straps add a lot. They don't have a glorious strap gap or anything, but they still add a lot to the figure. And then we shall spin her legs. Zoom out a bit to get them all in frame. She is slightly pigeon-toed, so the points of her toes are slightly inwards. And kind of leaning backwards a little bit. Just to, with her pose, it's the easiest way to balance, I guess. So yeah, do a normal zoom. Now we'll do some handheld shaky cam. So there she is, kind of from above, and we'll come down again. There's her face. She does have glorious separation underneath the tie and the top of her dress, but again, if you want to see that, you can look on Twitter, look on MFC, look on HPOI, and just find the pictures other people have posted. But yes, she is very cute. She is meant to be looking at you slightly from the side, so at a slight angle. Good legs on her. A little bit of a cheeky undershot. And there's the booty. Again, the garter straps and her back and everything. And if we go back in, you can kind of see the little gap right there on her top, on the bottom of her boob. So yeah, go ahead and put the camera away and we'll close this off. So this is Noshiro in her Hold the Ice skin, sculpted in figure form. She is from Azur Lane. I got the AmiAmi bonus face with her, which is actually a full headpiece. She is a 1/7 scale figure manufactured by Glint, which is, I want to say, a subsidiary or partner of Broccoli. I think they've taken over Broccoli's figure division, but I could be wrong. So Noshiro released on May 9th of 2025. I pre-ordered her at AmiAmi, like I said, with the bonus face, so I paid 22,860 yen, or $166.02. Gotta get that 2 cents in. So yay. So I do have Xena. She is in the mail right now, and I did pay extra shipping for Kurata, so she should, hopefully next week we'll have 2 figures. And I still have Liliana this month, supposedly, but I don't know if she's going to come out in Japan or not. She is out in China. So yay. Hopefully you'll get to see this video and I won't screw up the copying process now. But I'll see you soon. We've got more figures on the way. I hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.